speed limit is. I'm assuming it's 30. The Queen, the royal family, royalists, who always tend to be older people, most, in my experience, younger, working class, especially males, don't seem to, are ambivalent at best towards the royal family. I mean, I'm not saying I wish death on anyone, you know, other than, well, I mean, there are some people in the world, yeah, but an old 90-year-old woman who herself, to my knowledge, hasn't gone around, you know, enslaving people and stealing artifacts and wealth from other countries. Her ancestors have, but her herself, I suppose she did father a paedophile. Allegedly. Disclaimer, allegedly. But, yeah, man was on Epstein's island, so he's probably been touching them kiddies. And he's Catholic. Or Church of England. Bear in mind, we give tens of millions. Just so, let's use the Queen, for example. Queen Elizabeth. We give tens of millions a year as taxpayers. The state give Queen Elizabeth tens of millions a year to get by, because apparently she's struggling. That's what they were reporting in the media. But then the absolute lowest estimate of her wealth, Queen Elizabeth's personal wealth, was 500 million. 500 million. I know, okay, you've got the upkeep of all the palaces and castles and all this, but still 500 million. Really? And we've got to subsidise this, and that's the lowest estimate. There were some estimates that went into the billions, like tens of billions, of how much she. Because this is another thing I found out. Like 10 or 20 years ago, there was being a law passed to all public servants must disclose their assets and wealth. But the Queen herself lobbied for if you're just members of the royal family or her in particular to be exempt from this. She got like the royal lawyers or some shit to talk to Parliament and say we don't want to be we want to be exempt from this law, and it went through. So we have no idea how much it actually was worth, but it's just estimated 500 million lowest. Why are we giving tens of millions for chefs, butlers, house cleaners, nannies, cooks? You're already living in luxury. Why do we, you know what I mean? And then people are like, oh, but she's given so many years of her life as service and all this shit. I'm sorry, if living in luxury, everything brought and paid for you, you can do pretty much whatever you want and it gets swept under the rug within reason. Prince Andrew, paedophile. And people always come back, oh, but she's got no privacy. The Queen, or the Crown, owns more land than anyone else, apparently. I'm sure this is what it was anyway. I'm sure that somewhere on all these millions of acres of land that they own, that they can find to have a little private party, or, you know, get lost and not have a photo taken of them. Oh, but they devote their lives. If that's hard work, sign me up. Going once a month to some shitty country in the middle of nowhere that used to be part of the empire and cutting a ribbon or opening in a fucking supermarket. Sign me up. I will gladly do that. It's easier than my day job. So the Queen's death, they were saying, she died on the Thursday, but my friend was contracted for work which was pretty linked to the Queen's death, like a week before she actually died, and he was like, definite, this job's going ahead, be ready, you're going to be needed on this date. So how do they know exactly when she was going to die? Either she was already dead, or she's not dead and she just faked a death for retirement and she's just living it out on some private estate. And guarantee there's some royalists that would just be like, you know, the royalist paparazzi and shit, they'd probably just be like, yeah, we won't take no photos of you, sound, no problem. It's just weird, isn't it? Since she's died, like, I was always ambivalent towards the royals at best, but now I like almost come on, love. Now I almost actively dislike them. People always give the argument of tourism, the royal family bring in tourism to the country. Wrong again. They probably do bring in some of it, but no one knows exactly how much, because no one's quizzed, like, you know, at Heathrow, how much money, you know, are you coming here for this, are you coming here for that? There's no vetting to work out an accurate number of how much they actually bring in. One thing I did find out, I think it was Germany and France, when they, or it was definitely France, maybe not Germany, I can't remember, but there were some European countries, when they abolished the monarchy, or the monarchy died out, I don't know, whatever, the tourism went up in those countries, because all the palaces and castles and estates and all that shit, most of it became open to the public. People could go in and see what it was for themselves. Fair enough, you couldn't really see me, to be fair. It's alright, don't worry. A bit of a blind corner. At least put his hand up though. Nice man. If you're watching, if you ever watch, unlikely, 1 in a million, 1 in a billion, 1 in 6 billion, whatever the money in the world. Tourism actually went up in those countries because all the palaces and castles all became open to the public. So the argument of, oh yeah, the monarchy brings money into the country through tourism, bullshit. Bullshit. Fucking, what's his name? Carl Pilkington. Bullshit man, flying in the room. Another reason why I think they're a waste of money, literally a waste of money, we'd have more tourism without them, chances are, if the other countries that abolished the monarchy recently are anything to go by. And they take money out of the system for their own personal servants and all that shit. And first class flights, fucking private jets, all this bollocks. All the security that they require, living the life of luxury. And even like the funeral that's happened today, it's an old woman who's died. I don't know much about her, but so I'm not going to speak ill of her. But this funeral that's just happened, we're paying for all that shit. Yeah, okay, you've got a bank holiday out of it, but it's still going to be all coming out of your taxes. The money isn't coming from nowhere. It's just, I just don't get my head around it, you know. Big, innit? Big tower. And I've still got no fucking signal in my house. And I live near here. Shall I get fuel? Nah, fuck it. If people are liking the bike, I will eventually do a little walk around thing, review. Let me know if that's what you'd like to see. Give the video a like and I will know. Or just comment saying, Pete, you're a twat. You fucks are you looking at? Yo, cuz. Oh mate, my man in these smart cars getting a jolly on. Yeah, one thing I must say with the Tenere though, the standing position for me, 6 foot, I'm around 6 foot, 6'1". Yeah, it's spot on for standing. From factory ergonomics, no bar risers or anything like that. Seat, standard seat, not the comfort seat or the lowered seat or anything. It's nice to be stood up on. Pegs are pretty decent as well. They're not too too wider base, but good enough. Good enough. One thing I did find out though as well, that there is one crime in this country that the death penalty still stands. Apparently, I don't know how accurate this information is, but that crime is treason. So I would have thought treason was not just necessarily an act against, or a crime against the monarchy, but just against the country in general. So, I mean, technically, even an act of terrorism, does that class as treason? Could it be classed as treason? Could you get the death penalty for terrorism? Trying to blow up some fucking mall or some shit? Bum, 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 bum. Right, second gear. Slow it down, 20 mile an hour. Someone behind me. Gotta go. I'm short shifting a little. Don't want to go too silly. Don't know how to blur this out yet. Not very good at editing. Let's do that. So if you'd like to leave your thoughts and or comments below, the monarchy, what's the point? They take more out of the system than they get back in, most likely, because we have to pay out millions to keep the houses and palaces and all that shit running and funding their lavish lifestyles, nannies, chefs, butlers, fucking house servants, arse wipers, all that shite, literally. And that's another thing. So the Queen calls, or the King, the monarch, whatever, calls the people of this land their subjects, but they're classed as a public servant. So which one is it? You a public servant, or are we your subjects? To me, that the words, is it the term oxymoron? The words clash. They're not. It's not. It's literally two words that mean the exact opposite or how they sound. I'm not a. I don't know. Fucking. What's the word? Linguist. Oh yeah. Whatever. Brum. One of them dickheads on like a dirt bike at the lights, just going ding 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 ding. I mean, it's not quick by bike standards. By car standards, yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad, but you do have to work the engine a bit. I have changed to the 16-tooth front sprocket as well, which is obviously going to make it a little bit slower on the acceleration, but bring the RPM down. So if anyone is watching, wondering, and I used to do it when I was back in the day, wanted to know what bike, what RPM it sits at, like cruising speeds. It'd be about 4,500 on stock gearing, or a little bit more. So now it's got the front sprocket from the MTO, the same tooth front sprocket as the MTO7 front standard. Obviously it's the same engine but different gear. No, same engine, different sprockets to make the gearing. No changes to the engine at all from the MTO7 to this, as far as I know anyway. If anyone's interested in a review, because I have done over 1,000 mile on it now. I've done some green lanes, not done any touring yet, that'll be next year. But I've done some, longer days in the saddle. A good mix of wet. Actually, I have done a little bit of, I suppose, touring-esque. Sorry, I wasn't indicating. Sorry, bud. A little bit touring-ish, because I did the 2-hour ride back from where I brought it in Liverpool, and I live in the Midlands, as you can tell by the accent of Brummie. Well, not Brummie, Black Country. Alright, mate, I'm from Dudley. Yeah, and it was decent, to be fair, on the motorway. Decent wind protection. I had the screen completely wrong. I just wanted to get it home, and I couldn't be asked to pull over to adjust it. Your legs are, I don't know if you can just see, my legs are kind of tucked in a little bit. The anti-squat though, I do notice if you've watched the Fortnite vid, the whole anti-squat system with the rear wheel, the sprocket being higher and all, I don't know, some wizardry that goes on, I do notice. Because if you can be on loose material, give it the beans and it'll just pull. He's beeping to his mates. I'm a rebellious ute. Anyway, I'm near my house, so goodbye. Not that you know where I live.